Hello everyone, this is Kookie217. I'm glad to see that everyone is enjoying the What If Fasha Survived segment that I'm doing. Sorry I haven't gotten around to it lately. I've been doing other stuff such as Resident Evil and ASMR content as well. But here is the segment, or the part I should say, that everybody has been waiting for. What If Fasha Survived? Part 4. Let's get into it. In our last What If, we left off where Nappa and Vegeta decide to head to Earth themselves and take care of what Raditz could not. During the time the Z Fighters are training for the Saiyans' arrival, Goku's journey to King Kai's planet happens as normal, albeit this time, he's still living, much to the delight of Princess Snake. Fasha's training with Gohan is harsh. Unlike Piccolo, she does not leave him alone in the wilderness to fend for himself. Under Fasha's tutelage, he learns of his Saiyan heritage and grows into a formidable fighter, and her fondness for Kakarot's son grows higher, although she doesn't show it. It annoyed her when the young boy showed her any kind of affection, as it was un-Saiyan-like. She also wondered where Raditz had fled to. He had always been the cautious Saiyan, and that attitude had cost him much. In her mind, it was very cowardly of him to just simply up and leave. Chi-Chi is very dismayed upon Fasha training him in such harsh manners, as she would, as normal, want Gohan to keep his head in the books. Fasha ignores her and makes Chi-Chi understand that there will be no studying should they fail to stop the Saiyans once they arrive. As normal, the Saiyans would arrive to Earth after a full year, although here, Fasha would be beside Gohan rather than Piccolo. When Nappa destroys the city here, he isn't concerned about destroying one of the Dragon Balls because the pair don't know about them yet. When Vegeta checks the scouter, he is surprised to find high power levels on the planet, but he isn't too concerned.
Fasha is in that direction with a smaller power level accompanying her.
I can't wait, Vegeta. Before you make her your queen, can I have a crack at her?
Fine, but don't kill her. Anyone else is fair game.
Before the Saiyans make their way toward the pair, Fasha gives Gohan a pep talk.
Remember everything I taught you, Gohan. Keep your guard up, don't let up, and keep your tail safe.
Gohan nods as his grandmother verbally preps him. When Krillin arrives as normal, he tries to strike a brief conversation with the Saiyan woman, hoping she hasn't noticed him blushing as he does so. He is ignored. Fasha isn't interested in conversation considering the situation at hand.
You can stop talking. We have company.
The trio look above to see Nappa and Vegeta in the sky. When the Saiyan pair descend, Vegeta regards Fasha.
Fasha, it's been a long time.
Prince Vegeta?
Vegeta smirks at the trio.
I expected this planet reduced to nothing, Fasha, especially with you and Kakarot here. Instead, I find it intact. What went wrong?
Things have changed, Vegeta. I didn't see a need to destroy the planet.
Evidently. I see you have a child now as well. Yours and Kakarot's, obviously. My, I didn't think you liked them so young, Fasha. But I suppose he was the only male Saiyan around.
Fasha scoffs toward Vegeta at the mere mention of the matter, causing him to raise a brow in confusion.
Grandson, actually,
she says, bringing Gohan close to her hip.
He belongs to my son, Kakarot.
Nappa would then laugh.
Isn't this hilarious, Vegeta? She actually adopted that loser Kakarot as her son. That's a damn shame.
Vegeta snickers a bit before he continues.
Not necessarily. I'm willing to overlook your failures and embarrassments as Saiyans. With that weakling Raditz gone, we need a new man, and fortunately for us, there are two. 3 if you count the half-breed over there. You, Kakarot, and the boy come with us. Become my queen, and we can rebuild the Saiyan race together after we destroy this pathetic morsel. What do you say, Fasha?
Vegeta extends his hand in welcome, but Fasha ignores it. No sooner does this happen, the other Z fighters land to join them. Vegeta's smile turns to a frown as Fasha steps forward.
Vegeta, this planet has become my and Kakarot's new home. I won't let anything happen to it.
So then your answer is no. You would take up arms against your prince.
Here, Fasha would try to convince Nappa and Vegeta to stay on Earth, to build their power so that they could challenge Frieza and take revenge for what he did to their planet.
Yes, Fasha, I heard you on the scouter when you spoke to that weakling Raditz about the matter. Trust and believe Frieza will be dealt with once this is over. Now, last chance, Fasha. You, Kakarot, and the boy join us and become my queen, or die along with him and this planet.
Fasha stares coldly at Vegeta and Nappa. She then looks to Gohan, who is holding her hand, looking up to her for guidance. Fasha then gives her answer.
Vegeta, my answer is no. If you've come to fight, then bring it. I've always wondered what it'd be like to have a crack at the prince anyways.
Vegeta's smile returns.
Very well, Fasha. Your wish has been granted. Death it is. Nappa, get those Saibamen out. It'll be 6 against 6.
I thought you'd never ask.
Nappa plants the Saibamen and they emerge from the ground. As normal, Tien goes first and defeats his Saibaman. The only difference here is that with Fasha there, the Z fighters would have knowledge of the self-destruct ability that they have. Sadly, however, despite this, Yamcha is still the first to die as his cockiness gets the better of him when he lowers his guard.
That dumbass,
Fasha would angrily mutter to herself. Krillin, as normal, would destroy the remaining Saibamen before going for Nappa and Vegeta. When the smoke clears, they remain unharmed, much to everyone's horror, save for Fasha, who knew what would happen. Nappa smiles to himself and cracks his knuckles.
Well, that was a little fun. Hey, Vegeta, why don't you let me handle the rest?
Vegeta gives his assent, and Nappa walks about considering who should die first.
How about you?
Nappa says to Krillin before he charges him. Things here would be different. Here, Fasha would insert herself between the two and begins her fight with Nappa. The two seem to be equally matched, but the mighty Nappa eventually gains the upper hand, much to Vegeta's liking. This is where things go awry for the Z fighters as normal. In the attempt to aid Fasha, Chaozu sacrifices himself, and as normal, Nappa survives. Also as normal, Tien would fight against Nappa in a rage, except this time, Tien would still have both his hands and most of his energy, since Fasha fought with Nappa first. He would not be at a disadvantage and would give Nappa a decent run for his money, much to the chagrin of Vegeta. After Nappa finishes gaining the advantage against Tien, Vegeta orders that they should remove their scouters.
Evidently these people can hide their power levels and raise them at will. These are unreliable figures.
Nappa is more than happy to follow this order. As normal, Tien would try to use his Tri-Beam on Nappa as he fights with Fasha and Krillin. This time, the Tri-Beam would do a bit more damage, but not enough to kill Nappa. This here is where Tien dies as normal. Annoyed that this attack damaged Nappa a bit, Vegeta chimes in.
What's wrong, Nappa? Don't tell me that your fight with a woman caused you to have this much trouble with a bunch of low-level fighters. Do you need me to step in?
Yes. Fasha being there instead of Piccolo would greatly change things here. Kami would still be alive, and Nappa would be damaged quite a bit before Goku's return. Also, there is no plan to grab Nappa's tail, as Fasha never reveals a Saiyan's weakness due to what happened to her on Planet Meat.
No, Vegeta, I don't. They just got lucky is all. 3 of them are already dead. Just give me more time.
Fasha would wish Nappa luck in killing the rest of them before resuming her fight with him. Krillin, who would still be angry at Goku's absence, calls for him, and a 3-hour reprieve would still occur. Here, Fasha berates Gohan for not having a greater presence in the fight, and Krillin would defend him.
Don't be too hard on him, Fasha. This is his first battle, and it's scary enough as it is. He's my grandson, not yours, and it's part saying he should be much better than this.
When the 3 hours are finished, the fight resumes, this time with Gohan aiding his grandmother to gain her approval. The fight stops when Fasha senses Goku on Earth once more.
Well, it looks like you're going to see just how strong Kakarot has gotten very shortly.
The Saiyans begin to question Fasha's statement, with Vegeta picking a scouter back up to check, unbelieving that they could sense power levels without a scouter. It is also at this point that Gohan blurts out that after they are beaten, they will use the Dragon Balls to wish back their friends. Since they were never killed previously, they could be brought back. With this news, coupled with the fact that Goku's power level is now much higher than Nappa's, a whopping 9,000 at base, Vegeta orders Nappa to finish them off before Goku arrives.
Yes, I've heard tales of these wish-granting balls. Nappa, we can't let them join with him. After we dispose of them, we will travel to Namek and use these Dragon Balls there.
Though Nappa tries to carry out Vegeta's order, Goku arrives to the battle. He is briefly berated by Fasha for being late.
You're just like your father, Kakarot. Always late. Ah, Mom, it wasn't my fault. Here, I brought some sensu beans for you guys.
He splits the bean in 3 and hands them to the remaining 3. Fasha, having never eaten a sensu bean before, begrudgingly questions Goku as to what it is before eating it. It is at this time Vegeta speaks.
Well, the family is together again. How very nice of you to join us, Kakarot. You've missed quite the show. Your mother had to fill in for entertainment since the rest of them were too weak to provide a decent show.
Upon seeing his allies dead, Goku approaches Nappa as normal, and as normal, Goku is victorious over Nappa. The difference here is that when Goku breaks Nappa's back, he does not drag the fight out. He also does this without the need of the Kaioken. This Goku, having been partly raised by Fasha, does not hesitate to close the deal whenever he's fighting. Vegeta cannot believe that Goku has gotten this strong to easily overpower Nappa. In pain, Nappa raises his hand, asking Vegeta for help.
Help me, buddy. My back is broken.
Vegeta stares down at Nappa for a moment. Instead of feigning being helpful, he briefly berates Nappa.
You fool. You couldn't defeat a low-class Saiyan woman, and then you lose to her adopted son. Such an embarrassment doesn't deserve to live.
With this, he throws Nappa in the air before killing him as normal. Goku tells Krillin and Gohan to leave, that he and Fasha will continue to fight against Vegeta. When the pair leaves, the 3 Saiyans go to the canyons to finish the battle. Vegeta regards the mother-son pair.
Kakarot, very impressive taking down Nappa as easily as you did. Now that he's gone, I could use a good man. Your mother also showed promise during her fight with Nappa. She gave him a run for his money. Fasha refused me, but you, her son, are a different man. How about you join me, and together this universe will bend to our whim? Perhaps with you by my side, your mother can also be swayed to our cause once again.
Goku would also refuse Vegeta.
My answer is no. We have everything we want here on Earth.
Here, Vegeta would try to sow doubt into Goku's mind.
Do you? You're aware that Fasha was once a ruthless killer, bringing entire planets and civilizations under heel, killing at her leisure. I'm sure she's never told you this. of how much blood she has on her hands. Has she told you about your true mother, Kakarot? About Guinea? Or has she kept this a secret from you as well, just like she did with Raditz, your elder brother? I'm sure there's much she's never told you.
Vegeta becomes angered when Goku tells him that he doesn't care what the truth is, and that Fasha will always be his real mother. Fasha also rejects Vegeta's words.
Those days are behind me, Vegeta. And as I said before, this planet is my home now, and I'll protect it and Kakarot from anyone.
Vegeta now glares evilly upon the pair.
Including your prince, Fasha?
Including you,
she says sternly, but also with a smile.
As you wish. Feel privileged that the two of you will die by the hand of your prince.
Before the fight begins, Fasha tells Goku that they'll fight him as a team, that Vegeta is more powerful than he appears.
Whisper all you want. One at a time or both at once, I don't care. The outcome will be the same anyway.
When the fight starts, Goku and Fasha fight as one, pushing Vegeta back a bit. The Saiyan Prince is able to hold his own against the pair and regains his stride. His plan was to separate the pair, as it was clear to him that Fasha was the weakest of the two. He does indeed separate Fasha from Goku, but as quickly as he does, a bright red light would connect to Vegeta, pushing him back. This would mark the first time Goku uses the Kaioken since he never used it against Nappa. This would catch the prince by surprise, as well as put him on notice.
This is impossible. How can I, the prince of all Saiyans, be pushed back by two low-class soldiers?
This is a blow to Vegeta's pride, and as normal, Vegeta tries to blow up the earth. The difference here is that Goku has a bit more stamina since he didn't use much of it against Nappa, and also Fasha is there with him. The Gallic Gun is overwhelmed by the double Kamehameha Goku and Fasha unleash. With Fasha there, Goku only needs to use the Kaioken at ×2 during this beam struggle. During the lull, Fasha comments that Goku would have to teach her that fancy Kaioken of his.
You will teach me that, won't you? I don't imagine you'll refuse your mother's desire to get stronger.
Of course not. You got it.
When Vegeta reappears, battered and bruised and angry, he yells toward the pair that their lives are over. He looks toward the full moon in the sky and turns into a great ape. Since Piccolo isn't here, the moon was never destroyed. Fasha instructs Goku not to look at the moon, that she will also go into her great ape form and hold Vegeta while Goku cuts off his tail. Vegeta is much stronger than Fasha in his great ape form, and Goku cannot get a clear shot. Fortunately, Yajirobe arrives to cut Vegeta's tail, leaving Goku to finish the job. Because Goku wasn't beaten as badly as he was when Vegeta transformed in the normal story, he has little effort in beating Vegeta when he reverts back to his normal form. Vegeta calls his pod back to him and crawls inside. Fasha is about to kill him, but Goku pleads with her to spare him. He wants to fight Vegeta again, and when he does come back, he'll stop him.
Fine, Kakarot, but if you lose, that's on you.
Vegeta vows his revenge before he flies back into space. With knowledge of other Dragon Balls in the universe, the remaining Z-Fighters decide to make the trip to planet Namek. With Fasha banged up, Goku decides to remain on Earth with her, while Bulma, Gohan, and Krillin go to Namek after they heal up as normal. And that's where I'm going to leave things. I'm glad everyone is enjoying the What If Fasha Survived segment that I'm doing, and I'm looking forward to doing What If Fasha Survived Part 5, where our heroes face off against the tyrant Frieza. I'm looking forward to doing that part. Until next time, everyone, take care.